Hello, welcome back to Al Talks. I was saying last week that um, there was supposedly a festival that was planned for August. Well, autumn, but it's in August. I think 13th to the 15th. And I did a bit of research, and that is an actual event. Now, obviously, I don't know permitting, the COVID cases that here we have in Ireland at the moment. They're fairly low, like the country's open up. So I think I'm positive that that'll go ahead. And they're also talking about holding small live event. So this summer could really be a potential for me to go back and do open mics, which would be really exciting. Because it'd be new content for you on this channel. So really looking forward to that now. Like I said, I'm gonna flush out the material I have. It's about 25 minutes, half an hour. Like I got a solid 15. So I think work with that, and then we'll see how we go. But I don't think I've ever mentioned this before. Craig Conan has mentioned the app because he's part of it, and I think Bill Burr pushed for it. Well, he started it a couple of years ago. It's called All Things Comedy. It's an app where comedians get 100% of the money from that app, so they can upload videos and everything. They have a YouTube channel, and they allow people to host their podcast. Actually, George Lopez's podcast is on that. I think Pauly Shore's is as well. Pauly Shore is the son of the great Mitzi Shore, who ran the comedy club, the comedy store in LA for many years, and yeah. So, but the reason Bill Burr started ATC was because he like he mentioned in that particular podcast with Pauly Shores, because he was sick of managers and everyone else taking all this money and not giving it back to the actual performer. Like I think a manager gets 10% or whatever, and then you have an agent, so that's another 10 and whatever else. So he was just sick of people ripping him off, like. So he decided he would do something about it, and he created this platform. And during that podcast, he said, if I give one advice to anyone starting out, he goes, do not give your rights away to anyone. He goes, it's your creation, it should be yours. He goes, if the agent or the manager, whoever tells you to sell for, I'll promote it this way, and he said whatever amount of money goes, it's not going to matter, and it's not going to be worth in the long run. So yeah, now that's one of the reasons why I'm just kind of keeping my YouTube as a platform at the moment, even though they have changed their terms of service, which is a bit some things there that I'm not a fan of. But I still, like, this is still my creation. I have the rights to all of this. Just the only one thing that's changing is they can monetize my videos, even though I'm not in a partnership program. And the other thing is that they will use my videos for promotion work or something. That's not really a big thing, but I still own all this. Like, I can say whatever I want and have whoever on I want, which has proven difficult because I think the computer is not up to speed. Because this is just the computer that I bought for working for college, so it's a work computer. It's not a machine for fun. I have a console for that. So, but yeah, like I mentioned, Polly Shore's podcast is on the All Things Comedy. He shoots out there. So is George Lopez. I think it's a really, really good platform. I don't know if I'd be able to use it. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. But one podcast I did listen to the other day, Lee Syatts has his own podcast now called What Was I Thinking? And in that podcast, he was, he was saying how after he finished doing the church, what's happening now with Joey Diaz, he was looking for like part-time work and everything else, and I don't know why, like he has the same thing that Joey Diaz does. Joey, doesn't think himself. He's like, my special sock, them fucking hack on all this, but when in reality that he's not. But he was like, I was applying for all these jobs, and I was just thinking in the back of my head, Lee, I think he produced, I don't know, over 400 or 500 episodes of the church, with Joey, like, and the church was happening. I've listened to, God knows how many of them, like, there's 800 and something of them. I'd say I listened to over 100 and probably close to 200 episodes, and it's just strange for him to be like, oh, I don't know what to do the podcast, like you're good at it. But he had on a guest, Jamie Lee, who is killing it in the Boston comedy scene right now. If you go check Jamie Lee's Instagram out, it's hilarious. Like, she does sketches all the time. There's like this content on it every single day. Like, she posts multiple times a day, and it's usually hilarious, really, really funny stuff. But she at the moment she's in the top 1% of people making money on OnlyFans right now. And in the podcast that we're talking about that, I found out about Jamie Lee from Joey Diaz before, on one episode of the church that I listened to. Joey Diaz was talking about her, and he said, oh, she's a great woman for you, Lee. And Lee's like, what do you mean? They're like, look her up on Instagram, and it became this running joke. Joey Diaz was all like, oh, come on, Lee, you want to get her, text her there, send her a message, DM, whatever else. And so yeah, that became a good running joke with them. But yeah, that's I think that pretty much wraps up the episode today. I think I don't think there's anything else really I want to talk about. Oh, actually, one more thing. I think I mentioned last time I was listening to the podcast with Craig Conan and his cousins. And I think last time I didn't finish it, but I finished it now. But it was like, like I was saying, Craig Conan's podcast, Community Service, when he had his family on as well, like it's just really, really, really funny, like the stories that his family tell, his cousins, like he's half Mexican, so all his cousins are Mexican, and it's just really, really funny. Like, you definitely laugh. And what was I going to say? Yeah, it's a really good podcast, so you should definitely check it out. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up there. I don't think I've anything else to say. Yeah, hopefully this summer we'll return to the stage, and we should try out. It'd be interesting to see, because last time I performed was it was 27th of February 2020. So So I you know I'm really looking forward to coming back if it does go ahead. Be very, very interesting just to see. I don't know how it'll come back. I wouldn't be opposed to doing an outdoor show to really, if it were allowed, if that's what it started off with, because kind of limited events. Probably be strange depending on where the location is, but she'll see. Even if it's my local open mic, just doing an outdoor thing, I don't mind. We'll see in the future. And oh yeah, actually I forgot to mention last week episode was episode 20. Big milestone. I've done 20 weeks in a row an episode. Well, because I do it once a week. So woohoo! Can't wait for all the sponsorships to roll in now. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week.